She only asked for a seat. But what happened next stopped an entire room cold. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and Marcus had just finished the longest shift of his life. 12 hours on his feet, a missed lunch, and a to-do list that never seemed to get shorter. All he wanted was to sit down, eat something warm, and be home in time to help his 7-year-old daughter with her homework. Simple enough, right? But life had other plans, and so did a little girl named Lily. This is the story of one small moment that most people would have missed, but one that changed 2 lives in a way nobody saw coming. And by the end of this video, you might never look at an empty seat the same way again. Marcus was sitting in a crowded food court at his local mall. His bag was on the seat next to him, not because he was being selfish, just because the place was loud and full, and he was tired and not really paying attention to the world around him. He had his food, his phone, and maybe 3 minutes of peace before he had to rush back to his car. Then he felt it. A small tap on his arm. He looked up. Standing next to him was a girl, maybe 9 or 10 years old. She had bright eyes, dark braids, and a smile that looked like it had been practiced. The kind of smile you put on when you're already expecting someone to say no. And then he noticed she was standing on one leg. Her left leg was a prosthetic, and she was balancing carefully, holding her food tray with both hands, looking at the seat where his bag was sitting. "Can I sit here?" she asked. Marcus said yes, moved his bag, smiled back, and that was it. Except it wasn't. What happened in the next 20 minutes became something Marcus later said he would never forget for the rest of his life. Lily, that was her name, sat down and immediately started talking. Not in a shy, quiet way, in a wide-open, nothing-to-hide way that only kids can pull off. She told him about her school, her favorite color, the cartoon she was currently obsessed with, and then, out of nowhere, she said something that made Marcus put his phone down completely. "Most people don't want to sit with me," she said. Just like that. No drama, no tears. Just a fact, the way kids sometimes say things that hit you right in the chest, because they haven't learned to sugarcoat yet. Marcus asked her why she thought that. She shrugged and looked at her prosthetic leg. "I think it makes them uncomfortable. Like they don't know what to say, so they just don't say anything." Now here's the thing about Marcus. He was a single dad. Had been for 3 years, since his wife passed away from an illness that moved faster than any of them were ready for. He knew something about people not knowing what to say. He knew what it felt like to walk into a room and have people look at you with that expression, the one that's trying to be kind but ends up just being awkward. He knew what it meant to feel like a little too much for people to handle. So instead of giving Lily a motivational speech or telling her that people were just shy, he did something different. He told her the truth. He said, "You know what, I think some people are scared. Not of you, but of saying the wrong thing. And when people get scared, they get quiet. But quiet isn't the same as not caring." Lily looked at him for a second. Then she said, "Is that why you didn't say anything weird when you saw my leg?" He laughed. She laughed. And just like that, 2 strangers. One tired single dad and one little girl with a prosthetic leg and a full food tray. Were just 2 people having lunch. They talked for almost 20 minutes. Marcus told her about his daughter, who was around Lily's age. Lily told him about how she lost her leg in an accident when she was 5, and how at first she hated the prosthetic because it was heavy, but now she had decorated it with stickers and considered it kind of her thing. She said it with pride. Real honest pride. But here's the part that broke everyone nearby. And I mean actually broke them. At the table next to them, there was an older woman who had been quietly listening the whole time. When Lily stood up to leave, this woman reached into her bag, pulled out a small notebook, and handed it to Lily. She said, "I write down moments that remind me people are still good. I'm writing this one down." And then she looked at Marcus and said, "You have no idea what you just did for this little girl." And then one tired dad said yes without even thinking about it. Marcus went home that day and told his daughter about Lily. His daughter, who was 7 and very serious about fairness, listened carefully and then said, "Daddy, I hope someone is nice to Lily every day." And Marcus said he hoped so too. But more than that, he started thinking about how many Lilies were out there. Not just kids with prosthetics, but anyone who had learned to expect the seat to be taken. Anyone who had started to believe that the world wasn't really for them. He started paying attention differently after that. Not in a big dramatic way. He didn't start a charity or go viral on purpose. He just started noticing when the seat next to him was empty and making sure the right person knew it was okay to sit down. That is the whole story. A food court. A Tuesday. A bag on a seat and a girl with bright eyes who just wanted a place to rest. But here is what I want you to take away from this. You don't need a big moment to change someone's day. You don't need the right words or a perfect response. Sometimes all it takes is moving your bag and looking someone in the eye like they matter, because they do. And deep down you already know that.